Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, grab a snack, hit that subscribe button, and get comfortable. Because today's story is one of those moments where someone tried to sound in the know and instead ended up being roasted to a crisp by common sense, receipts, and the internet's long memory. Today we're talking about Kinsey Schofield.
We just saw Prince Harry alone in Aspen, we have a mutual friend that was on the field, Harry and I. I'm sure he would love to know exactly who that is so that he can cut them off, but I'm going to be careful in how I word this. But the mutual friend that was playing with him, that was playing with him on the polo field, has told me in the past that Megan hates when he plays polo, that she's really been a Debbie Downer when it comes to his social life. And they were disappointed because all of a sudden when Harry started dating Megan, they rarely saw Prince Harry.
Her mysterious mutual friend, and the wild claim that Megan Sussex somehow doesn't like Prince Harry playing polo. Yes, polo, the sport Harry has played forever, the sport Megan Sussex has watched, supported, and enthusiastically photographed since before they were married. Buckle up. The claim that launched 1,000 eye rolls. So Kinsey pops up with a story that sounds very serious and very exclusive. According to her, she and Prince Harry apparently share a mutual friend. This unnamed, unseen, unverified person supposedly played polo with Harry and was leaking private relationship details to her. And what was this earth-shattering revelation? That Megan Sussex doesn't like Prince Harry playing polo. That's it. That's the scoop. Now, pause with me for a second. Because whenever you hear phrases like mutual friend, sources say, or someone close to the couple, your critical thinking alarm should gently go off, not blaring, just politely chiming, especially when the person delivering the information has a long, documented history of disliking Megan Sussex. Context matters a lot. The internet said, name them immediately. Here's where things got hilarious. People didn't even need to dig deep. Polo is not a secret society. Harry doesn't disappear into a foggy field with anonymous strangers wearing cloaks and whispering secrets to tabloids. Polo is social, public, photographed, and, crucially, documented. So social media did what it does best, listed names. Someone very accurately pointed out that the people on the pitch with Harry were Nacho Figueres, Nacho's sons, Hilario and Artemio Figueres, Grant Gansey, and Nick Roldan. And that's pretty much it. Now, ask yourself, are Nacho Figueres or his children secretly ringing up Kinsey Schofield to dish about Megan Sussex's private feelings? Is Nick Roldan sliding into DMs like, hey bestie, got some royal gossip for you? Be serious. The answer, very obviously, is no. That's when someone summed it up perfectly online, laughing and saying Kinsey's story was, let's say, extremely imaginative. The mutual friend suddenly became invisible, vapor, a character who exists only when the narrative needs help. The polo timeline that refuses to cooperate. Here's the part that really trips this whole story up. Megan Sussex has been watching Harry play polo since before they were married. There are photos, there are videos, there are interviews. There are literal smiling, sun-soaked, cheering on the sidelines moments that refuse to disappear no matter how hard certain commentators try. In fact, one of the most recent polo moments that sent people into a meltdown was a photo Megan Sussex herself posted, proudly, lovingly, of Harry after a polo match. Yes, that famously thirsty photo, because apparently supporting your husband, admiring him, and being happy in public is now evidence of disapproval. Make it sense. If Megan Sussex hated polo, if she resented it, if she disapproved of Harry playing, why on earth would she post that photo? Why would she attend matches? Why would she smile, clap, and engage with the polo community? This is where the narrative collapses under its own weight. When bias writes the script. Let's be honest for a moment. Kinsey Schofield is not a neutral observer. She has consistently positioned herself as critical, often harshly so, towards Megan Sussex. And when someone starts from a place of dislike, everything they interpret becomes distorted. A smile becomes calculated, silence becomes controlling, support becomes performative, and suddenly Polo becomes a marital issue. It's exhausting and it's transparent. What makes this episode so funny isn't just that the claim doesn't hold up, it's how quickly and easily it was dismantled. No leaks, no hacking, just basic knowledge of who actually exists in Harry's Polo circle. The internet didn't even raise its voice, it just raised an eyebrow. The imaginary friend problem. Let's talk about this so-called mutual friend. Because if someone truly had access to Harry's inner circle, they wouldn't need to stay anonymous. Credible sources usually come with verifiable proximity, staff, official spokespeople, long-standing professional connections, not a guy who plays polo with him sometimes, allegedly, maybe. And more importantly, polo players at that level are protective. This is a tight, elite international sport. Reputation matters, trust matters, discretion matters. Leaking petty relationship gossip to a commentator known for hostility towards Megan Sussex would be social suicide. So, again, who is this person? Exactly. Megan Sussex and the crime of loving her husband. There's something almost comical about how every narrative eventually circles back to trying to paint Meghan as controlling, jealous, or disapproving, even when the evidence shows the opposite. She cheers Harry on, she attends his matches, she posts about him, she has supported his passions consistently. But because she doesn't perform support in a way that satisfies certain expectations, it gets rewritten as suspicion. Here's the truth people don't want to accept. Megan Sussex genuinely likes her husband. She enjoys seeing him do what he loves, and she doesn't need to explain that to anyone. That's not a scandal. That's a marriage. Why this backfired so spectacularly? This whole situation is a textbook example of what happens when commentary outruns facts. Kinsey Schofield tried to sound plugged in. Instead, she reminded everyone that speculation without receipts doesn't survive in 2026. People check, people remember, people connect dots. And when the dots don't connect, the story collapses, loudly and publicly. The roast wasn't cruel, it was logical. And honestly, that's worse. Protecting Harry and Meghan's peace. At the end of the day, Harry and Meghan are living their lives. They're raising their children, supporting causes they believe in, and, yes, occasionally enjoying a game of polo. They don't owe commentators access. They don't owe explanations. They don't owe fuel for tired narratives. And as supporters, all we really want is for their relationship, their happiness, and their peace to be protected from lies, from bitterness, and from imaginary friends with suspiciously loud mouths. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.